What is up, YouTube? This is Maddie Chapsa. So I know so many people comment on my videos that it's kind of hard to read them all, but a lot of you guys have been posting, can you do a what's on my iPhone tag? Except what's in my iPhone, it's kind of lame, kind of generic. So I decided to go with a what is in my notes app tag, specifically because I am a freak and I just write the weirdest stuff in my notes app. Kind of like if you heard stories of people when they're high, they write something down and then they wake up in the morning and they're like, what the fuck? That's basically me every time I use my phone. I thought it might be fun to go through some of the notes on my notes app. Okay, so my first one, the first line is just a whole bunch of fives. So on a big line there at the top. My New Year's resolution this year was to read the Bible cover to cover. I found a handy website that divides it up for you into 365 chunks, but I'm only on day 20, so as you can see, I'm a little behind. Directly underneath that, I have the letter Q and then a bunch more dashes, and that's because if I'm gonna read the Bible, might as well just read the Quran as well, right? They were having a 2-for-1 special, so I know what you're thinking, what's next? Donald Trump's The Art of the Deal? Then I just have this one note that says, it is doomed to fail. Age is but a number, but faith is everything. It's like a weird, ominous cliche that I'm not really sure what it's warning me about. And then I just have a bunch of really bad ideas for YouTube videos. Worst baby names of 2016. Awkward Bible stories. Old Spice commercial parody. Top 5 worst songs to masturbate to. Oh, here's one from the other night. The guy that I liked had posted something on Facebook. So of course I whip out my notes app and then I burst into my mom's room. She's like basically asleep and I'm like, Mom, hey Mom. What? Okay, so I'm thinking of posting a comment on his Facebook status, so I've narrowed it down to the following 7. So that's what that was. Here's just a note that says, never name your son Jacob. Then I just have a note. Oh, here. Things I said at the start of grade 10 that turned out to be false. I won't be able to get away with doing any more random unsolicited video projects. I'm so edgy. I think I'm gonna really enjoy social studies. I'm gonna be really good at rugby. I'm just gonna slay at track and field. I don't know any gay people. I am not gonna be able to keep up with the smart people. I have a note where anytime one of my acquaintances says something hilarious, especially if it's by accident, I write it down. Be happy, but don't be a communist. My grandma. Eating food at the same time makes every sport an extreme sport. You can be inspired, but don't be empowered. Empowerment is selfish. We've been using this vacuum cleaner for 15 years, and now you touch it and it breaks. It doesn't stand to reason or logic. That's my dad. Forgive and forget and remember. When I was volunteering at this camp, I got this question. What's your favorite secular band? Then I just have a note for all the different days of Spirit Week. I'm the president of our student council, so I have to write all that stuff down. Here's a note where I wrote down some of the funny things I found in the King James version of the Bible in Genesis. In the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And over every creeping thing that creepeth, they were naked, so they made themselves aprons. But here's one that just says, people who think our generation is the one teaching kids they need to do drugs and have sex to fit in has clearly never seen Grease. So here's one where it had been 2 months since I broke up with my first ever boyfriend. So here's just like this super melodramatic note on my phone that I decided to write. It's almost been 2 months. Has it only been that long? It feels like forever, and I'll bet someday it'll get easier. Sweetheart, that day was like a month and a half later, so just chill out. I changed the words to, do you want to build a snowman? To reflect my feelings about the breakup. Not like it would help anymore. You've locked the door. And still I stand here and I knock, and then I have this like really convoluted plan to try and get him back. It spans from November all the way to March. So if you're watching this before March of 2016, there's still time. But luckily I have the self-awareness to draw a little arrow up from that and say, this is pathetic. So I really redeemed that one for myself. Oh, here's another one that's fun. I was a really shitty girlfriend, and that's probably my biggest regret. But I think if I had it to do all over again, I still wouldn't be any better at it. So there's that one as well. Oh, and then I have this really terrible idea for a novel. A new race of people called the Plasticans. So look out for that one in chapters if that's still a thing in like 10 years. This one that just says hashtag who even gets abducted anymore. Not assholes like me apparently. One that just says I can sum up 40-year-old women in 3 words. Wine glass emoji. Another one that says, look how happy the sky is. Why can't you be more like the sky? Why can't you be more like the sky? Look how happy it is. So I guess you're doing fine then. Better than when you were mine then. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have found anything embarrassing that you've written down and just kind of forgotten about. And make sure to like or subscribe. At least don't unsubscribe, because I might have to take all of my rage and sadness and put it into a parody of a song from the Disney Channel. Have a nice week. See you next Thursday.
Can everybody shout hey yo to Mrs. Couch Potato? She's in her own world in the state of San Diego. Drives a 98, her wage of mine is way low. Papa's little girl, but he ain't too proud to say it. Not saying how the hell I'm gonna stop.